Let's bring her out, Miss Lily Tomlin. Together, we do. This is a poor man's Christmas. You look, why so long? One movie is coming out at Christmas, and the next one is coming out in February. Why such a long release date?
Well, it just takes that long, I guess.
So you have one in, that'd be nice, because they'll both be going the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they will, because I think 9 to 5 will be real successful, and it'll probably be running till then.
And The Incredible Shrinking Woman, I saw the ad in today's paper. They had a full-page ad, and there's like a little postage stamp. And there you are sitting in a shopping cart.
Yeah.
With a little TV guy.
Yeah, and I had little sunglasses and a babushka on, because I was sort of incognito. Tomlin is the Incredible Shrinking Woman.
And it just is a great ad. And you just know it's going to be funny when you laugh at an ad.
Thank you. The people at Universal will be glad to hear that.
Yes, and...
No, I loved it, too. I thought it was real good.
Were you always funny as a child?
No, I wasn't particularly funny, but I knew who was funny, so I just lifted from them. Because I was always real influenced by television. Like Beatrice Lilly, I'd seen her, and I didn't know who she was, but I thought she was real fabulous, and Imogene Coca, and a woman named Jean Carroll.
Sure, the same as mine. That's very good.
Was that who influenced you?
Yes.
And she was like the first woman stand-up.
On Ed Sullivan show.
On Ed Sullivan, and she did husband jokes.
Yeah, husband jokes and children growing up dirty sneaker jokes.
Yeah, did she? Well, I remember the husband jokes. I don't know why, because at 9 or 10 years old, I would come out and do husband jokes. You know, for my mother and my father and the neighbors. And my favorite joke was, I'll never forget the first time I saw my husband standing on a hill, his hair blowing in the breeze, and he too proud to run after it. And I guess I thought that was...
I did the same. I used to steal from television. My big joke was, Harry, Harry, I'll never forget that wonderful burning kiss. You forgot to take the cigar out of your mouth. That was my big
Well, yours
joke.
is better.
I wouldn't say that. Now, what made you come to New York? Because you come from Detroit.
Yeah, from Detroit, right. What
You
made me
came,
come? I
you
wanted
came to be
in
an
show
actress?
business. Yeah.
An actress or a comedian?
Well, I came to be a mime, because it was early 60s.
So boring.
Well,
boring.
Well, early 60s, you know, it was, and I was a beatnik and sort of segueing over into hippie, and it was narcissistic to be an actress, or it was too ego-oriented. So to be a mime was more humble and and more acceptable politically, you know?
Pew.
So I didn't want to be a mime. I wanted to be Dolly Parton. But
Didn't we all? But it's just...
But so I pretended I was going to be a mime, but it didn't. I quickly segued out of it.
And then what did you do while you were getting started? Because we talked once about all the different jobs. I interviewed you for a book I'm writing, if you remember that.
Well, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, well, I just was talking to you. You didn't notice my pocketbook was whirling? And you were talking about the time you were at Howard Johnson's?
Oh, sure. I had lots of waitress jobs. And when I got my job at Howard Johnson's, I was especially thrilled because, I mean, I'd worked at a lot of, like, bun and burgers and things like that. And it just wasn't the same as working for Howard Johnson's, you know, which has tradition. And has uniformity and standardized portions. So when I got this job at Howard Johnson's, it was at 49th and Broadway, which is like the great Howard Johnson's, you know. And a lot of the other waitresses were actresses too. But they didn't want to wear the uniforms because they were real unattractive. This is an old story, but I'm going to tell it anyway.
Not to me, it is. Go.
So the uniforms were like very long and had big puffy sleeves, and they had no shape. So everybody else would come real early in the morning and hem theirs up real short, like mini skirts, and they'd wear sneakers so their legs looked good. But I would always stay regulation, and I'd wear this big uniform real long with great big duty shoes, you know. And a big hanky and a little cap with a hairnet. And because I just enjoyed playing the role of being a Howard Johnson's waitress. And I knew that in the other stores they had Howard Johnson's waitresses of the week, but they didn't have them at our place. So I felt I deserved to be. So we had a microphone where you could call to the basement, you know, for supplies. So when it would get real crowded, because I wanted a really full house, I would duck down behind the counter and I would say, "Attention, diners. Attention, diners. Your Howard Johnson's waitress of the week, Miss Lily Tomlin, is about to make an appearance on the floor. Let's all give her a big hand." And then I would walk out, and, you know, and people would ask me, and I would point out that the other women had, you know, mini skirts and with black thread showing.
Where else did you work?
Oh, and then another time I had a great job, a breakfast lunch job at the Governor Clinton coffee shop. And to be on the counter is to be the flunky. You know, the new girl always gets put on the counter because you have to work really hard to make any tips, and you have to go for volume. So all morning during breakfast, which was very tough, I mean, lunch was even harder. So I'd prepare for lunch, and the secret was to have a lot of forks. Because with every sandwich, you have to serve coleslaw. And if you don't put the fork down, someone's saying, I need a fork, I need a fork. So your rhythm gets all shot, and everything goes ruined. So all morning, I'd be collecting my forks, getting them really nice, piled up in the silver box, you know. And invariably, like about, you know, 20 to 12 or 10 to 12, one of the old pros would, like, slip up to the counter and pretend she was making an egg cream. And I would just catch her leaving at the last minute out of the corner of my eye, and I'd see, like, you know, little fork tines. The marks of all the forks sticking in her pocket, and then my whole lunch thing would be ruined. And one time I had this, when they first started making those little individual frozen pizzas.
Oh, the pizza, yes.
And I would go to this, I would go to the supermarkets, and I was supposed to heat them up in these little ovens.
Were you a demonstration lady?
Yeah, kind of. Well, I didn't have to say anything. I was just supposed to say, don't you want to try a little piece of...
Because you practice your mind, then. With So go ahead.
So, I was prepared, like I had a lot of pizzas cooking, and then I was supposed to slice them up and give them these on little napkins, you know, little portions. But they would come in, like, at the end of the day, and they'd be so hungry after working all day, and they'd be shopping, I'd, like, literally have to, like, throw them out like Frisbees. You know, they were just mad for them.
How long were you doing all these kind of jobs? When you first hit when you came into the upstairs, downstairs, where I saw you, how many years were you in New York?
Well, literally, I'd come in 62 and I'd left because I couldn't do it. It was too hard, and I came back again in 65, and I was at the... And you didn't see me till 68.
All I know is there was a girl, they kept saying, upstairs, and I went up and I saw Loopy, the cosmetic lady.
Right.
And the other one, the crazy lady that talked to the person in the coffin.
Right.
What was her name?
Lula.
Lula!
Right.
Would you do them?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
I'll do them real fast. We have to go for a
do
break?
Commercial? All right, they will come back. All right.
All right.
We'll be returning in a second, so hurry up with the commercial.